I'm hopefully live by now. Hello. Thanks heaps for coming in and watching. I've got a really cool one today. I'm super excited. I mean, I'm always excited. And I'm having an immensely enjoyable time doing this. An immensely enjoyable time. And at the same time, I get on these videos and I just get super confronted by this stuff. And so today is my attempt not to be confronted by myself. Because I get a bit freaked out, like I make up all this stuff that means stuff, which is, being a human being. What are people going to think about this stuff? Is it, too in-depth? Is it unemotional? Is it this? Is it that? Anyway, so let's just get on with it today. So one of the things that I've spoken about previously quite extensively is how the hell do I work out some mathematical model that allows me to simulate mathematically what it looks like to be conscious. And the best thing I could discover was the best thing I could discover was gravity. And that's because, let's find my other whiteboard marker here. It's because if you've got one particle, it seems that the other particles are attracted to it. And so I decided to have a crack at seeing if I could get that model of Einstein's theory of general relativity, see if I could get that to fit how we operate, human beings operate. And let's just have a crack at it. And it fascinated me that his view, or Einstein's view of gravity, was just it was a perspective difference. And so this today is a portion of that, which is information attracts information. And how that shows up is that, have you ever noticed that your friends, well, I know I certainly have, but people, like birds of a feather, stick together. So people who have a similar view stick together. But also people who have the opposite view stick together. And so one of the things that I was talking about with my mate Macca, who jumped on and watched me live for a minute there, was that I had this view that I wanted to save people as a child. Like my mum, she was up against it when I was a kid. She's a single mum. She didn't really know what she was doing. And so from my experiences that I wanted to save my mum. And that stuck with me for most of my life. And I've only just discovered it, because it started really, really young. And it just wasn't super obvious to me. But how I got it was that I noticed that a few of my friends had a similar tendency, like they'd even admit that they had a similar tendency. And I had this experience, like if my friends were down, I wanted to save them. And what I noticed was that my friends either wanted to be saved or they liked saving. So the opposite of wanting to be saved. So information attracts information. In other words, like matter. Which is super cool because it gives us this phenomenal opportunity to consider, to take this a little bit further, this gravity model. And so what I've drawn over here is essentially what you could consider as a black hole. Sorry, I've just dropped off. A black hole is an extreme version of gravity. In other words, we don't really know what a black hole is. It's completely purely mathematical. The first time I've ever taken a photo of a black hole was earlier this year. And this is what it looks like when it bends space-time based on Einstein's model of gravity. This is what it looks like from the side, or could look like from the side, and this is what it looks like from the top. There's this sphere. And the reason I put these two things in here is to consider that they are bad or good. So the opposing views. And I've spoken about that previously, that we seem to hold information and construct information and make order out of information by having opposing views. And you could see these are two different people and they're attracted. This could be saving or be saved, and this could be saving or be saved. Now it also could be saving or be saved on this end and saving or be saved on this end. Either way, it doesn't matter. They seem to be attracted to each other. So information, saving, be saved, decisions that we've made based on past experiences seem to have us attracted to other people with similar views. You could look at things like the victim complex. More extreme versions of stuff, for me, makes it a little bit easier to see. So people who like to be victimised, in my experience, are either attracted to other people who have the victim complex. It's not a very kind description. And people who like to victimise other people. Another way of considering it is information likes agreement. So have you ever noticed that if someone in your friends group doesn't agree, then it doesn't work very well? You ever noticed that we make fun of anti-vaxxers, which is a very pertinent subject right now. If you've decided that you should vaccinate, you don't really like it if people don't agree with you. It's not natural. It doesn't come to us naturally to be okay with disagreement. So information likes agreement. Another way of putting it is ways of being are attracted, which is a pretty in-depth area to consider. Ways of being give us ways of action. It's definitely out of the, it's probably more of a philosophical view, not really more of a in the physical world view, which is that, if I have a way of being angry, I'm probably going to attract people that also have a way of being angry. Or more importantly, I might not even notice that the people around me have a way of being angry, because for who I am for myself is angry. And you might see some similarities with that if you look around your friend group and in the world. So there's definitely something here about information attracts information. And what that might look like for yourself is decisions that you've made in your head. You definitely look to whether they're true or correct or incorrect. You could find yourself arguing with people because you're trying to discover whether your information is correct or incorrect. And there's no point, you're not going to get a conversation or an argument with someone unless they agree or disagree. It's fantastic, isn't it? Like, if someone doesn't care, you're never going to get an argument out of it. You're never going to be able to debate them. So information attracts information. So in other words, we could treat information as mass in gravity formulas. And I'm going to have to go and check the math on this, but when I looked at the mathematics for black holes, and I like to use extreme stuff, which is why I'm looking at black holes. Well, that's not just the only reason. There's a couple of other reasons which I can get into. There's some very cool stuff that you can discover that, because it's more extreme, makes it a little bit easier to see. So I'm going to go and do that soon. I'm actually going to do that today. So I'm going to wipe this all off the board. I'm going to do a whole new video today about this, so that we can have a discussion about what this might look like mathematically, and simplify it so that I can actually get my head around it and I can communicate it with you without getting all freaked out. So super, thanks heaps for listening, and if you've got any questions, I'd love to answer them. So yeah, champions.